Hello, hello. This is Derek Jordan. Welcome to the World Fusion Show, where we bring you the leading innovators in world fusion music. Today, my guest is Gao Hong. She grew up in China during the Cultural Revolution, and she is a pipa player and a wonderful musician. So, welcome, Gao Hong, to the World Fusion Show.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's great to have you with us today. Really wonderful to get a chance for you to tell your story. And I wanted to start with your beginnings and what it was like to grow up during the Cultural Revolution in China.
Oh, it's very difficult, especially my mom was a music teacher and my father was a landowner, also was an artist. So because of the Cultural Revolution, my mom trying to avoid me go to the countryside, I became a musician. So that's how I grew up at the age of 8. My mom will force me to learn all the different instruments
Hmm.
and lock me inside of the house from outside. So I have to force me to practice 8 hours a day.
That's how you get good, though, isn't it?
That's how I daily life every day. Get
Yeah.
up very early morning for 2 hours, then go to school, then lunch because I live in the elementary school where my mom teaches. So I just lunch practice 2 hours, then go back to school. After school 2 hours, after dinner 2 hours. That's everyday daily life.
Yeah. So you became quite good at the pipa at an early age, good enough that you could travel with a troupe, with a musical group in China. What was that like?
Yeah, it's very difficult. I only age 12. I never left my family by myself, and I literally became the dance singing troupe, a professional dancing and the singing troupe, and the travel all in China. So it was very difficult. I cry every day.
Oh,
The lonely you want to see with your parents, but I wasn't. I was the only youngest one. I wasn't in school. I was literally as a player
yeah.
with with the dance singing troupe. It's very difficult life.
You told me that you also had a very famous pipa player as your teacher, and I think you were really lucky to have that.
Oh, absolutely. Lin Shicheng is the most famous pipa player in the world. If you know anybody, they will refer him as Ravo Shanta on the pipa.
Yeah.
He's a Liu Dehai's teacher. He's many famous pipa player today teacher. So I was very lucky. I was the only student besides his son. Was to travel with him. Came to America, had a tour together. We had a joint concert as a teacher and a student. So I'm very lucky. Also, we together recording a hunting eagle chasing the swans recording. So actually, it's going to re-release this September 25th through the ARC music label in UK.
This next video we're going to see, let's go to that. So let's talk about that for a sec. Because in China, growing up playing the pipa, which is a type of a lute, you could say, some of our listeners may not be familiar with the instrument, but you were not improvising. That wasn't part of your education. But when you came to the US, you began to improvise. But this next video shows an improvisation with you playing with an oud player. Could you please introduce that to us?
Yeah, the wood player is the Isam Rafia from Syria. So he came to Carleton. I invited him to be my guest artist to taught of two songs for my global music ensemble where I directing.
Hmm.
And before he left, and I said, hey, we have never played. So maybe we just go to the studio just for fun. So that's the first time we ever, even not talking, we just went into the studio. Okay, let's play, and have not knowing what's the theme, what's the macam, or even the key, nothing, or the mood. We don't know anything. We just listen to each other. Here you see, that's the first time we went to the studio for the whole afternoon.
Sometimes that's the best way. Let's go to the video right now and hear
Okay.
this.
Okay.
Hey, all right, we are back with Gao Hong. That was very nice. I just wanted to ask you, and say that you came to the U.S. When you were 30, you told me, and you did a solo tour at that time. And also, you have a great story about your first experience with improvising and with these jazz people. Can you tell that, please?
Yeah, it's very interesting. I couldn't speak a word of English when I first came to America. So one day I was at home. I heard that somebody left a long message, but I couldn't understand what they say. And later my husband came back. I said, there was a message you should listen. Then he said, wow, there is a famous jazz musician who's a bass player called Anthony Cox. He original from Minneapolis. Now he went to New York. Now he's come back to relocate in Minneapolis. I wanted to have a concert with you at a Walker Arts Center. It's hosted by the American Composer Forum called Strange Follows. So I said, no, I don't know anything about the jazz. I don't know anything about blues. I'm a traditional musician. I can't play that. So my husband said, no, they're really amazing because besides Anthony Cox, also there is Stephen Gordon and play the guitar. Then David King, the Bad Apple at that time, now it's called the Bad Plus, Happy Apple, and the David King, a percussionist, a drummer. So they're amazing musicians. So I said, sure. So at 6 o'clock, we had a sound check. They did a sound check first. I was totally couldn't believe how incredible the bass player, how incredible the musician. So I was totally shocked. So when I started playing, they were shocked because they couldn't understand how the people play so differently from the guitar. So then they did the first half, I did the second half. The last piece would be played together as improvisation. At that time, I don't know what's called improvisation. I didn't know what's jazz, what's a blues at all because I'm at a conservatory. So, and then suddenly everybody stopped except that David came with the drum waiting for me solo. I said, oops, what I do? I was so nervous. So if I don't play anything, basically nothing else. So I just made up on the spot, remember what they did, like trying to copy them, that kind of thing. Suddenly, I'm done my solo. People just loved it. The stand ovation for the longest time. I still remember one of the audience wrote me back. At that time, no one saw the pipa. They say, I saw that day we had an earthquake in the building because that's what they expressed their feeling. So since then, I just thought, wow, to collaborate other musicians, especially improvisation, is such amazing because you can learn from the masters, you can learn from other people who play so beautifully. So that since that I've been falling in love with collaboration with all kind of musicians.
That's great. And you, Gao Hong, you truly are a world fusion artist and are perfect for our show. And in fact, I'd love to go to our next video. And this is a quartet that has a bunch of different instruments that are not usually played together. Do you want to tell us about that?
That's the butterfly.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, butterfly is the piece I wrote for the pipa, cello, and vina. Actually,
Yes.
I wrote originally is for the TPT, Made in China TV series. Then when they asked us, I formed this group called Butterflies because we all ladies. So then we add my long time collaborator Mark Anderson to play the drum. So this piece is kind of like a Silk Road. It's like a from far away where the people came from the Middle East, like the oud or the lute, that kind of thing. So this piece is kind of like the music of feeling of the Silk Road.
Nice. Very good. Let's go to the video right now.
Okay.
All right, we're back with Gao Hong. Hey, that was great. I love that. So nice to hear the blend of those different instruments together. Very nice piece. So now you have a Chinese music ensemble, also in a world fusion ensemble in Minneapolis, Minnesota, near where you live. So tell us about what that's like.
Oh, that's amazing. That's the Carleton College. Carleton College is the liberal arts school. College is the top fifth in the nation. So I've been there for this year will be the 20th years.
Wow.
Yeah, we're the first one ever to offer a music major. You can get a BA as a music major and on the Chinese instrument.
Nice. That's
Yeah,
great.
in 2008, we had the first pipa player became got her BA. Then now we can not just offer in pipa. We have all the Chinese instruments because I grew up with many different instruments. I play all, and also we're also offer that as a minor too. Music minor. You can focus on Chinese instrument. It's a wonderful, wonderful college. It has amazing support. I also directing the global music ensemble because my experience of collaboration with the fusion, I realized that's how I communicate with the people through music. I thought that's the wonderful bridge. So I want all my students, doesn't matter where they come from China, from Asia, from America, through music, they can understand the culture, the language, then they become peaceful. And it's a really, really rewarding a program. And the students are just wonderful.
Well, it sounds great, and I'm sure you're doing a great job there with people. I want to go to our third video, and this is where you're doing a duet with a sitar player. Can you tell us about this, please?
Oh my gosh, this besides the Walker Arts Center, the one was like on the on the spot making music. This one is the first time we truly collaborate from different culture. Shubhendra Rao is from India. He is Ravi Shankar's student. He's really amazing player, actually very, very famous in India. He saw me perform with Ragamala in the dance troupe in Minneapolis, and he said the pipa is so much related with the sitar somehow. So, and he said, could we just have fun? I said, sure. So he bought his sitar. For 2 days. We couldn't figure out what to do because we clashed so much.
I see.
We couldn't get together. I've been playing for so many years, and he'd been playing, but we couldn't figure out until third day. And I said, could you please sing what the raga is, because they don't read the score. So he was saying, I will write it down. Then I realized his toning is so different because he toning sharp G. Mine is A. That's why we clash so much.
Right.
So I retoned my pipa and I write it down. So kind of like he saying, I will write it down. Then I was trying to improv to adapt it to my pipa. So it's the most rewarding project I ever imagined. That was in 1997. That time, not many people do a fusion yet. And the other story is that Ravi Shankar even called him. I still remember in the middle of the night for him, because Ravi Shankar at that time was in California, said, my teacher told me he loved our collaboration. He said, besides his music, he just said that's the most amazing collaboration music he have heard. So that's a huge, amazing encouragement for us. So, and hopefully we'll get a more collaborate project together again.
That would be great. Let's go to the video right now.
Yes.
right, we are back. That was really great. I love that. Beautiful with the sitar, the two of you playing together. Really
And
nicely done.
love the song. Yes.
Yes. So, Gao Hong, just want to say thank you so much for joining us today on the World Fusion Show. It's been just great to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a great pleasure to meet you here, and thanks for so much for doing this wonderful show for the World Fusion
Yeah.
music.
Well, we're going to go now to the part of the show where you and I get to play together through the magic of the internet. So I'm really looking forward to that. How cool is that? That's great, right? All right. So thank you again, Gao Hong, for joining
So,
us.
yes, thank you.
All right. Hey, this is Derek Jordan, and thank you so much for joining us for the ride today on the World Fusion Show. It's been great to have you. We have lots more fantastic guests and shows coming up. And hey, I want to thank our wonderful sponsors, Mackenzie Family Charitable Trust, Dean's Beans, Chris Pratt, Nancy Feinberg, and Ron Dans for their generous support for the show. And hey, follow us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, and share the episodes with your friends. It's great. And remember, as we always say, think globally, listen locally, and support independent music.